Hi, I'm Wild Bill. It's the 7th of January 2024, and this is going to be awkward because I'm going to be reading the libretto from the computer and then moving to the piano to play the songs. It's just a proof of concept video. This is the Gods Undone, a rock opera written by myself. And I'm going to see if it scans and rhymes and holds together. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return to me void, except it accomplish that which I please, and make the thing whereto I sent it prosper. Passion and heartache and love and despair and the rosy-cheeked daughters of day. Poisonous potion, polyphemus lair, where Odyssean perils will sway. Telemachus thinks out his father in vain, but he learns of the ways of the wind. While brave Penelope, she weeps in the rain, pursued by a flock of bad men. How can your story compare to mine? And how might your sorrows relate? How can you claim that the tales of the past have nothing to teach at this day? Trapped on an island, losing my crew to the whims of a sorcerer queen, trading my love for the men that I knew, while yearning once more for the sea. Crushing Charybdis is eating our boats, while sailors are plucked from their decks by the octopod Scylla, her sister afloat, set there by the powers elect. While up on Olympus, the daughters and sons of the copper-hair, emerald-eye clan have gathered around in the midst of their fun. Now the archer has bow in his hands. How can your stories compare to mine? And how might your sorrows relate? How can you claim that the tales of the past have nothing to teach at this day? Have nothing to teach at this day. Hey, 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 have nothing to teach at this day. So many stories, so many variations on a single theme. From the heavenly throne has come an order. As God speaks, his words become angels. These streak across dimensional boundaries, headed earthward to do his will. Once there, the fact-finding mission begins. When enough data has been gathered, a report is attempted. But all communication with heavenly authority is gone, as if it had never been. Bereft of interaction with omniscience, the angels begin to bicker, to disagree. Factions form and break away from the mission team. The largest of these dissonant factions is that of the pantheonists. Under Zeus, they discover something terrible. Angels are dwindling in power. Without access to the heavenly throne, the divine ambiance, they pine away. While the mission team under Saturn remains loyal to purpose, seeks to perform its original task, Zeus puts his best minds to work trying to synthesize a means of retaining angelic power. The secret, you see, lies in the power of angelic blood. A minute fraction of the holy presence lingers in the blood of angels and, as Zeus discovers, in certain of its progeny. The divine spark does not die, no matter how base the flesh of its house. The progeny of union with mortals known by angels might well carry that presence, a presence from which angelic sustenance could be derived. So Zeus and his team begin to interbreed with humans, siring many, to find the occasional gem of a hero or demigod within whom lies hidden that spark of the divine. These are cut off from the herd, groomed, culled, fed upon by starving angels. This is the genesis of all the many myths about vampires and werewolves stealing lives in the night. Cut off from heaven, Zeus sees no conflict. He merely wishes to survive until he can return thence. The blood of innocence is merely his drink. Mixed with wine of the grape, it is called ambrosia by mortals. How do I know all this? I was sent by the throne as a watcher, my purpose to observe this experiment in free will. I sit atop the spire, cloaked in shadow, danger dire, keeping track of things beyond the matters of men. Bitter memories of spring, oldest dreams awakening. Who among us has the heart to do it all again? Always comes a reckoning, always to another king. Mental lapse or passion bold, weaknesses were never told. I garner sins of youth, gather unsung songs uncouth, keeping track of things beyond the province of man. I watch with aching eyes, dross of years and endless lies, all of it a ruse to keep us bound in chains again. Always comes epiphany, always to apostasy, mental lapse or passion bold, shapeless heroes growing old. Sinking in the rut of ages, casting out the sages, opening the gates. Sinking in the rut of ages, casting out the sages, that's what I await, that's what I await. A man sits on a rock beside a crossing of paths. He's smiling as he counts coins. 5, 6, 7, all good Spartan gold too. It won't be long now. Cool ocean breezes, warm country homes, city mansions to call my own. See me at the opera, throwing fruit, 'cause feeding starving artists is what rich folks do. I could be a lord someday. All that it takes is someone who loves me, someone I know believes in my words, someone to lead down the primrose path and leave for the ants and the birds. Chirp. I don't have much to lose, but I've got a world to gain. All that it takes is a heartless rogue who knows how to use his brain, how to use his brain. traveler, well-dressed, urbane, self-absorbed, comes to the crossroads. There he finds the rogue. "Excuse me," the traveler begins. "I seem to have gotten quite lost. Tell me, is this the road to the oracle?" The rogue smiles with genuine pleasure. "Well met. Yes, indeed, this is the road to the Pythoness's cave. Follow it to the grove below and look for the footpath off to the right. That will take you unerringly to the source of all knowledge and every man's destiny." "Many thanks," the well-heeled traveler says. "I bid you farewell. May we meet again in a happier place than this vale of tears." "Not likely," smirks the rogue, watching him depart. After a minute, the rogue stands, straightens his gear, pulls a dagger from his belt, and slinks off in the direction the traveler has taken. Presently, a cry from the valley below ends in a dreadful gurgle. A short while later, the well-dressed traveler reappears, counting gold from the rogue's bag. 5, 6, 7, all good Spartan gold, too. A woman approaches along the other path. "There you are, Hermes. Zeus has been shouting for you all day." The traveler smiles, radiant. He's quite the handsome man. "Ah, Tyche, well met. Tell your father I'll be back by dusk." "I hope you're not thinking of bolting," she warns. He's in one of his moods again. "Perish the thought." Zeus sits in his chamber, pondering recent events. His experiments in the Olympus caldera have borne fruit. A breeding program, a careful hedging of bloodlines toward a potential maximum, has begun to produce the occasional perfect specimen. "Tyche," he calls. His youngest daughter enters, bows before the throne of the sky. "Yes, father." "Have you received answers from the Hoochis?" She sighs. "It's been 3 days, father. They can't even agree on what to have for breakfast, let alone which side to choose in a war between you and Saturn." "So it's Saturn's 9 against my 3 and 4. Bad odds, daughter. We need at least 3 more first-rankers or a dozen from the Hoochis." "Why not just drink all the heroes yourself?" she asks. "Surely they'd be no match for you then." A laugh from the self-proclaimed king of the gods. "Circles within circles, my child. There are things you're safer not knowing." She leaves, puzzled. Her father begins to sing. Flying through a leap of faith, struggling to breathe, running on the heads of foemen, feathers on the breeze. This one is an eagle stooping, this a striking snake, and I am he who shakes the stars until the heavens quake, because it's Ringball. I fall from heaven through the sky, it's Ringball. And it's the only way to fly. It's Ringball. I fall from heaven to the ground. It's Ringball. And it's the only game in town. Food and drink and all these things that every man desires. All I do is reach my hand out, quench my soul in fire. Everything my parents wanted, all my every dream, you know it turns to dust if I can't make just one goal for my team, because that's Ringball. I fall from heaven through the sky, it's Ringball. And it's the only way to fly, it's Ringball. I fall from heaven to the ground, it's Ringball. And it's the only game in town. Everyone up in the stands as quiet as the moon. They're crouched upon a timeless pounce inside a silent tune. Running past these blades of grass, and every hand's a knife. Each of us must play his part inside this game of life, because that's Ringball. I fall from heaven through the sky, it's Ringball. And it's the only way to fly, it's Ringball. I fall from heaven to the ground, it's Ringball. It's the only game in town. It's ring ball. Who are these strangers in my sky? It's ring ball, and even if I win I'll die. You know it's ring ball. Why are these clouds up in my sky? It's ring ball. A war is brewing. Zeus knows his is the weaker force. He must use strategy to achieve the advantage, disperse Saturn's forces, defeat them in detail. What are my options, he asks himself. I can't split my forces, but I must divide his. Who can I trust to send the message? As though waiting in the wings, Hermes arrives. A bit out of breath, he greets his king with a flourish. Great name! Good to see you! You! Zeus thinks about the need, the risks, and his partners in crime. How good are you, really? Sire, the angel asks, nonplussed, if I sent you into the belly of the beast, could you escape it? Ah, Hermes wonders what is going on. Am I expendable? That's the question, Zeus agrees obliquely. If you don't think you can do it, I'll have to find another way. Another way to what? Asks the god of curiosity. Tell him who the Watcher is. Hermes gasps. You know about... Zeus ignores the word. Someone is here who wasn't on the mission team. He hasn't chosen sides. He's staying strong, however. Saturn and I both want his secret, but we haven't been able to pin him down until now. And you want me to tell Saturn where this agent is? Hermes asks, struggling to understand. I want you to tell Saturn where this agent might be, but isn't, is the answer. While he's running his ass off trying to find him, I'll sneak in and capture the agent without anyone else the wiser. What if his secret can't be transferred, the younger angel asks. Then I can use that knowledge as a bargaining chip, too. To this end, he adds, I wish to establish a new religion. Go to the city below the clouds and tell them that all Father Zeus loves the smell of barbecued beef. Build me a temple and slaughter bulls and rams in my name. You've cracked? Hermes asks, amused. No, by this means I intend to supply us all with suitable blood until we can capture the agent and obtain his secret for ourselves. Or not, Hermes objects. A nod from the red-headed Sky King. Or not. Climbing the walls of a mountain with no sides fighting the ice and snow everywhere. Fist in the cracks when another ledge crumbles. This night is frozen, this life is bare. Stars in the darkness, blood on the stone. Torches just sputter, gutter and gone. Ice in my eyelids, a rock in my hand, and feet scrabble helpless. Fingers hang on, but my heart is a river of time where the waters they worn away. All of my days and my loneliness cries like a thing alive when my memories fade into shadows and grays. Oh, 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 oh. Diddle 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 la la la. Here in the desert of ice there is peace. I see no windows, I feel no heat. Swirling confusion touching my fingers, swathed in the maelstrom I feel my heart beat. Hey, can you tell me where the sky meets the mountain? If I can't find it, I'll surely fall. Catacombs of statuary carved by the wind, so if I walk among them gently, I'll fool them all. For my heart, oh my Lord, is a river of time, and the waters they worn away. All of my days and my loneliness cries like a thing alive when my memories fade into shadows and grays. So hey, can you tell me where the sky meets the mountain? If I can't find it, I'll surely fall. Catacombs of statuary carved by the wind, so if I walk among them gently, I'll fool them all. For my heart, oh my God, is a river of time, and the waters they've worn away all of my days, and my loneliness cries like a thing alive when my memories fade into shadows and grays. And Zeus stands on a high ledge, looking down upon his mortal worshippers. I am that which will remember you, he shouts, his voice like thunder rolling back from the hills all around the temple. I will remember each and every one of you who comes to me through the caverns of the cycle of rebirth. From my maze you will emerge anew, part of a permanent holy presence that all your descendants will praise. I will cure your diseases. I will heal your sicknesses. I will accept your elderly into eternity with me. Believe and be remade, eternal and immortal. His priests begin to direct penitents through the mouth of the cavern. As each enters the darkness, his torch fades, so that no detail of what lies within can be had by those outside waiting its mysteries to be revealed. It's a moment, one of many passing in the night. Raise your glasses high and let it shine. Here's a memory worth the making, burned into your dreams, just like it is burned so deep in mine. Navigating by candlelight, from my heart to the sea, cast shadows in the night, and one of them is me. Navigating by candlelight, traveling through the years, till our boats become the stars that light this veil of tears. It's a smile, one of many, like a butterfly. Lands there for an instant, but it's gone. But I feel it strong tonight, it's like you never died. That's the reason why I wrote this song. Navigating by candlelight, from my heart to the sea, passing candles in the night, and one of them is me. Navigating by candlelight, traveling through the years, till our boats become the stars that light this veil of tears. All Camuso sing. Oh, oh, la 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 la. Navigating by candlelight, from my heart to the sea, passing candles in the night, and one of them is me. Navigating by candlelight, traveling through the years, till our boats become the stars that light this veil of tears. Till our boats become the stars that light this veil of tears. Zeus in his chamber again. The smell of char and smoke is better than the smell of rot that usually rises off the city. Ready at last, he says softly. I've located the Watcher. Hermes will reveal under torture that I am moving on the agent as they argue. When he lets drop the false location, they'll scramble to intercept me, but I won't be there. My brothers, swelled to bursting with the blood of innocence, await them even now. That fight should tire them out. I'll be here, tasting ambrosia made with the blood of my angelic brothers and sisters. You poor hoochies, he smiles. What you didn't know will kill you. Tyche watches from the balcony as armies mobilize. If this goes south, they'll all blame you. Her father nods. That they will, child, and that alone delays my hand. I can't be the all-father of a worldwide religion if I get caught eating my worshippers, now can I? They run like cowards to Saturn. Instead, I give the select children of the gods to you four, and my brothers 3. I will consume the hoochies until I am so powerful that I can defeat the whole of Saturn's 9 at once. I don't get you, father, she says, shaking her hand. Circles within circles, my dear, he reminds her. For my brothers and your 4, I want your cares to be few, your lives full of happy things. For this to occur, I must take full responsibility for it, especially if all goes to hell in a handbasket. She smiles hesitantly, then takes leave of the brooding god of the air. He begins to sing. Running till you meet the cliff, you soon discover things. That legs are for the ground bound, but for flying you need wings. In my dreams I soar, but when I wake up I'm a rock. I can't move a muscle, I'm just stuck. Falling into space is such a rush you can't believe. Flutters by and time is flying, make the landing clean. In my dreams I fly, but when I wake up I'm a turtle. I pray I fall this time on ground as fertile. 'Cause here I go into the even flow. All of life's colors, they blend and grow into the even flow. Running doesn't matter, 'cause my feet can't run on air. Clouds move just the way they will, and I think it's unfair. In my dreams I spin the stars into a castle strong that lasts till the next dreamer comes along. 'Cause here I go into the even flow. All of life's colors, they blend and grow into the even flow, into the even flow, into the even flow. The war has not gone well. Neither side searching for has found the Watcher. Zeus's ambush fails and his forces retreat, hounded by the foe. Sitting quietly on a ledge above the ruins of his city, the Sky Lord laments. Heavy hangs the crown, dragging us all down, and implement to nail the ruler to the ground. Did you ever wonder if you felt the reins? Would you do a better job like my ex-boss claims? Could you, would you, might you find something to delight you? Lose your traction, satisfaction slinks into its shell. All the men around you, virtuous, astound you. Everything is humming, operating well. Until webs of deception sticks in the eye. Where were my sages when my dreams died? Heavy hangs the head, gardens of the dead, an implement to nail an angel to his bed. Would you ever wonder if you knew the pains? Would you do a better job, or would you burn in flames? The temple complex at Olympus has been destroyed. Instead of the attractive aroma of barbecued beef, all that can be detected now is the reek of sulfur. Abandoned, the site is now a cratered field where ragged refuge of rugged rocks resembles better a moonscape than a holy place. Zeus, self-proclaimed father of the gods, stands alone amidst the rack and ruin, hands clasped behind his back. The angel broods his certain fate. We planted seeds, but the corn did not sprout. Winter was bad, but we waited it out. There wasn't much more I could do. Where is the light that we look for in vain? Who shineth down on our sadness and shame? How can we live without you? Cometh the seasons, cometh the dawn, harvest red flowers of blood on the lawn. I dug the holes and I planted them deep, skipped on the water, went light on the peat, but I did the best I could do. Cometh the planting, cometh the weeds, flowers have faces of death on their sleeves, death on their sleeves, death on their sleeves. The red-haired marvel shakes his head. For a moment, it seems he might begin to cry, but he's made of sterner stuff. In his bid for worldly power, he but demonstrated worldly excess. Having consumed 100 of his former friends, he has perspective, shielding him from the enormity of his horrors he's inflicted on the world of mortals. 500 million dead. Only a very few millions remain. The earth is a devastated remnant of its former verdant wonder. Acrid smoke and dust blow ceaselessly on an angry wind no god can control. I meant to be king of the world, he grouses, angry at himself. Now I am but king of the moon. I tiptoe up the laddered clouds and hop aboard the moon. Sitting in the emptiness, it's bright and hot as noon. All my tears precipitate until they form a sea, an ocean full of loneliness for me, just for me. There are no trees or flowers to block my earthly view, wandering from far away about the things you humans do. All my tears evaporate until they form new clouds, and I can't see anything at all through the shrouds. Just a little lonely king of the moon, reruns playing on the box, but new F's promised soon. Well, I'm king of the moon, a king without a crown, master of a barren space where wisdom makes no sound. A king of the moon, a king without a crown, master of a barren space where wisdom makes no sound. Death has greeted multitudes uncountable. Scant persists unblemished, unscarred. Saturn, once leader of a unified team of angels, receives a visitor. Prometheus, claiming to be a representative of heavenly authority. So there was a watcher, says the supreme leader of the angelic away team. Zeus was telling the truth for once. Prometheus does not gloat or exult. He is present for one purpose only. Saturn, I bring orders from the throne which commands all things. A portal will soon open just outside your refuge. The Ancient of Days orders you to return through it, all of you who yet survive. That means Zeus and his team too. We have failed, the team leader asks numbly. He straightens abruptly. I have failed? It's not for me to say, the other tells him. I am but the messenger. Presently, a disk of white fire on black fire appears in the brand new wasteland outside of Saturn's fortress. Here, scourged by smoke, dust, and the smell of death, the remaining angels congregate. Zeus and his daughter Tyche are the only survivors of the Redheads' breakaway faction. Thrice bound in chains of tool steel, they are tended by their lesser brethren. The uneven battlefield is carpeted with the corpses of mortals whose only crime was faith in their gods. There are some humans left, however. Those are gathered around campfires, crying to powers that will not or cannot answer. Prometheus, alone of the angels, weeps at the probable fate of those remnant wretches who had until lately been armies of millions of humans, tens of thousands of Neanderthals, thousands of war mammoths, earth dragons, each mob led by an angel who cared nothing for their lives. This is the progeny of angelic desire, he mutters, saddened by what he's seen. One thing I can promise you, poor benighted mortals, you'll be far better off without us. A horn wails, its blast of sound quickly lost in the impenetrable haze that cloaks the whole of the planet like the sorrow of a mother outliving her son. The angels file through the portal, on their way to meet their maker. Prometheus is last. He speaks not, but loves this world he must now leave forever. The other angels, set as an experiment in free will, are destitute, bereft of purpose, empty of meaning. Out of their number, only the agent Prometheus felt compassion for the butterfly lives inhabiting the mortal world. He alone felt the potential of these deaf, blind, and foolish mortals. The heavenly authority, you see, has determined that free will is too unpredictable in effect to grant without reservation. Angels, it has decided, are too powerful to allow self-rule, self-determination. The experiment will continue using lesser creatures, ones who cannot cause destruction on the scale that angels here have wrought. Not yet, anyway. Prometheus turns to enter the portal himself, but a thin melody wafting in from nearby makes him pause. On a ridge above the ruins is a knot of poets. These constitute the historians. Under Hesiod, they have tried all along to chronicle the events taking place. This, Prometheus thinks, is the real result of our struggle. Mortals telling stories that will carry down through generations innumerable. Will be remembered, he thinks, listening to this last song. Slower than a mountain, faster than the sky, tears pour down like water, and flowers passing by. Gears of ancient making grind us into dust, mixing flour and water into pancakes for the just. Da 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 da. the pyramids, we must reach the sky. Maybe God will see us then and answer when we cry. All the world is burning, flame has cleansed it all. Naught remains but yearning, I stumble and I fall. I will die and never know, 'cause I'm not in the loop. Just be sure that when you go, you take our ghost with you. You take our ghost with you. You take our ghost with you. Finn, Wild Bill Cox, 7th of January, 2024. My first draft of the Gods Undone.